My fiancée said quietly, "I don't think we should act engaged in public anymore." I answered, "Understood." I didn't ask why. I didn't correct her. At the family dinner that weekend, she noticed something was missing from the table, and the room went very still. I'm 29, and until 2 weeks ago, I was planning a wedding for next spring. We'd been engaged for 8 months, together for 3 years before that. Everyone said we were perfect together. Her family loved me, my family loved her. Our friends constantly joked about how we were relationship goals. On paper, everything looked great. The conversation that changed everything happened on a Tuesday evening. We were at her apartment, which was technically where we both lived now, though I'd kept my lease as backup since my place was month to month. We just finished dinner. Nothing fancy, just pasta and a salad. We were cleaning up together like we always did. She was drying dishes while I washed, and out of nowhere she said, "I've been thinking about something." "Yeah, what's up?" "I don't think we should act engaged in public anymore." I stopped washing the plate in my hand, just held it under the running water for a second. "Okay." She looked at me. "Just like that? Okay? What do you want me to say? I thought you'd ask why." I turned off the water and looked at her, really looked at her. She wasn't meeting my eyes. She was focused on the dish towel in her hands, folding and refolding it. "Do you want to tell me why?" I asked. "It's just, I've been feeling like people have certain expectations now, like we have to be this perfect engaged couple all the time, and it's exhausting. I thought maybe if we just acted like we're dating again, there'd be less pressure." "Understood." She looked up then, surprised. "That's it? What else is there? You don't want to act engaged in public. I heard you. I'm not going to force you to hold my hand or introduce me as your fiancé if you don't want to. You're not upset." "I didn't say that, but what would being upset accomplish right now?" She seemed thrown by my response, like she'd expected a fight or at least some pushback. When I didn't give her either, she just nodded and went back to drying dishes. We finished cleaning in silence. That night, lying in bed, I couldn't sleep. Her request kept replaying in my head. The more I thought about it, the more wrong it felt. Not wrong in the sense that she wasn't allowed to have feelings, but wrong in the sense that engaged people who want to be engaged don't usually ask to hide their engagement. They don't feel burdened by expectations. They feel excited about them. I started paying closer attention after that. Small things I'd been dismissing suddenly seemed significant. The way she'd tilt her phone away when texting, the way she'd started going to happy hours with coworkers more often, always with excuses about networking, the way she'd stopped talking about wedding plans unless I brought them up first. On Thursday, 2 days after her request, we were supposed to meet her parents for dinner. Saturday, it was a monthly tradition, nothing formal, just dinner at their house. She mentioned it casually while we were getting ready for work. "Don't forget about dinner with my parents this weekend." "I remember. 6 o'clock, right?" "Yeah. And can we just not talk about wedding stuff? I told them we're still figuring things out." "You told them that?" "I just said we're taking our time with planning. They were asking too many questions, and I needed them to back off." "Okay." Again, she looked at me like she expected more, an argument or at least something. I gave her nothing. Friday afternoon, I made a decision. I went to a jeweler and asked them to resize my engagement ring. Not her ring, mine. I'd gotten one too when we got engaged because I liked the idea of both of us wearing visible symbols of our commitment. It was a simple band, nothing flashy, but I wore it every day. "How long will it take?" I asked the jeweler. "Just a few hours. You can pick it up this evening." Perfect. I picked up the ring at 5:30, except I didn't just get it resized. I'd had them engrave something inside. 3 words. She said no. I didn't put the ring back on. Saturday came. We drove to her parents' house together. She was chatty in the car, talking about work gossip and something funny she'd seen online. I responded when appropriate, but mostly just listened. She didn't notice I wasn't wearing my ring, or if she did, she didn't mention it. We got to her parents' house right at 6. Her mom hugged us both at the door. Her dad shook my hand and asked how work was going. Normal stuff. We sat down in the living room while her mom finished getting dinner ready. Her dad offered me a beer, which I accepted. Her sister and brother-in-law arrived about 10 minutes later with their 2 kids. More hugs, more small talk. The kids immediately started showing me their new toys. I played along, grateful for the distraction. When dinner was ready, we all moved to the dining room. Her mom had made roast chicken with all the sides, the same meal she made almost every time we came over. We started passing dishes around, everyone serving themselves family style. Her mom was in the middle of asking her sister about something work-related when she suddenly stopped mid-sentence. She was looking at my left hand as I reached for the salad bowl. "Where's your ring?" she asked. The table went quiet. Everyone looked at me, then at my fiancée. "I had it resized," I said calmly. "Picked it up yesterday, but decided not to wear it anymore." My fiancée's face went pale. "What? Why wouldn't you wear it?" "Because you asked me not to act engaged in public anymore," I said, looking directly at her mother. "And I figured wearing an engagement ring probably counts as acting engaged." Her mother's expression shifted from confused to concerned. "She asked you what?" "Tuesday evening, she said she didn't want us to act engaged in public anymore, said it was too much pressure, too many expectations, so I respected her wishes." Her fiancé stood up abruptly. "Can we talk about this privately?" "Why? You made the request privately, but these are the consequences publicly. Your family should probably know that you're having second thoughts about marrying me." "I never said that." "You didn't have to. People who want to be engaged don't ask to hide their engagement. People who want to get married don't tell their parents they're still figuring things out when they've been engaged for 8 months. Her father set down his fork. "Is this true?" She looked around the table at her family, all watching her, waiting for an answer. "You're making it sound worse than it is. I just needed some space to breathe." "Space from what?" her sister asked. "From everyone asking about the wedding constantly, from everyone having opinions about every decision, from feeling like I have to be this perfect, engaged person all the time." "So you told him to stop acting engaged, instead of just telling people to mind their own business about wedding planning?" Her fiancé didn't answer. She just stood there, tears starting to form. I stood up too. "I should probably go. Thank you for dinner." "Wait," her father said. "Let's all just calm down and talk about this." "There's nothing to talk about. She made her position clear. I'm respecting it. If she wants to get married, she knows where to find me. But I'm done pretending everything's fine when it clearly isn't." I left, just walked out of the house, got in my car, and drove back to my own apartment, the one I'd kept just in case. I'd never been more grateful for a backup plan in my life. Update 1. She called me 14 times that night. I didn't answer. She texted me another 26 messages, ranging from angry to apologetic to confused. I read them but didn't respond. Around midnight, she showed up at my apartment building and buzzed my unit repeatedly until I finally answered the intercom. "Let me up. We need to talk." "Not tonight." "Please, I need to explain." "You already explained. You don't want to act engaged. Message received." "That's not what I meant." "Then what did you mean? Because from where I'm standing, it seems pretty clear. You got cold feet, didn't know how to say it directly. So you tried to ease out of the engagement gradually by removing the public commitment first." Silence on the other end. Then, "Can I please just come up?" "No. Go home. We'll talk when you figure out what you actually want." I hung up. She buzzed 4 more times, but I didn't answer. Eventually, she left.
Sunday morning, her mother called me. That was unexpected. "I'm sorry about last night," she said. "That was a lot. It wasn't your fault. I know, but I still feel like I should apologize. For what it's worth, I think you handled it well. Better than I would have in your position. I just told the truth. Exactly. And she needed to hear it, even if she wasn't ready for it. Can I ask you something? Sure. Do you still want to marry her? I thought about it for a long moment. I want to marry the person I thought she was, the person who was excited about our engagement, who talked about our future like it was something she couldn't wait for. But that person has been gone for a while now, and I don't know if she's coming back or if she was ever really there. That's a very honest answer. It's the only answer I have. She sighed. For what it's worth, I think she loves you. I just don't think she knows what she wants right now, and that's not fair to you. No, it's not. We talked for a few more minutes before saying goodbye. Her mom was kind about it. Didn't take sides, just acknowledged that the situation was complicated. I appreciated that. Update 2. Monday came. I went to work, focused on my projects, tried not to think about the disaster of Saturday night. Around lunch, my phone buzzed with a text from her sister. She told me the real reason. What reason? Why she asked you to not act engaged. She's been having doubts because one of her coworkers has been flirting with her. She didn't want to shut it down completely because she liked the attention, but she also felt guilty about it, so she tried to create this weird middle ground where she could explore the attention without technically cheating. I stared at my phone for a solid minute. Then I called her sister. Tell me everything. She did. Apparently, my fiancée had been confiding in her sister for the past month about this coworker who'd been paying her compliments, asking her to lunch, texting her after work hours. Nothing overtly inappropriate, but enough that she'd started to wonder what if. Wonder if maybe she was settling. Wonder if the grass might be greener. Did she do anything with him? I asked. She says no. Says it was just flirting, just enjoying the attention, but she admitted that she asked you to stop acting engaged specifically because this guy had asked if she was single, and she didn't want to directly say yes, but also didn't want to shut him down, so she tried to have both. Yeah. And I told her that was garbage, and she was being selfish and immature, that you deserved better than someone who couldn't decide if she wanted you or wanted to see what else was out there. What did she say to that? She cried. Said she realizes now that she was taking you for granted. Said she wants to fix it. Does she want to fix it because she genuinely wants to be with me, or because she got called out and is embarrassed? Her sister was quiet for a moment. I honestly don't know, but I thought you deserved to know the truth. Thank you for telling me. That evening, my fiancée showed up at my apartment again. This time I let her up. She looked terrible. Eyes red from crying, hair pulled back in a messy ponytail, wearing sweatpants and one of my old hoodies. I need to tell you something, she said as soon as I opened the door. I already know. Your sister told me. She looked like she might collapse. You told you about him? Yeah. I didn't do anything, I swear. I didn't do anything physical with him. You did something worse. You kept the door open. You asked me to stop acting engaged, specifically so you could explore your options without technically cheating. You wanted a safety net while you tested the waters. I was confused. I was scared about getting married, and then this guy was giving me attention and it felt good and I didn't know how to handle it. So you handled it by asking your fiancé to hide your engagement, by lying to your family about why we weren't moving forward with planning, by keeping me in the dark while you figured out if you wanted to. She didn't have an answer, or if she did, she couldn't say it out loud. I think you should go, I said quietly. Are we done? Are we over? I don't know, but I know I can't marry someone who isn't sure they want to marry me. And you've made it very clear that you're not sure. Update 3. The next 2 weeks were brutal. She kept trying to reach out, kept saying she'd made a mistake, kept asking for another chance. I didn't block her, but I didn't engage much either. Just short responses confirming I was okay, that I needed time, that I couldn't give her an answer yet. Her mother called me again, asked if I'd be willing to come to dinner that Saturday. Just me and her parents, no one else. I almost said no, but something made me agree. When I showed up, her dad opened the door. He looked tired. "Thanks for coming," he said. We sat in the living room. Her mom brought out coffee. They asked how I was doing, if I was eating okay, sleeping okay, the kind of questions parents ask when they're worried about you. "We want you to know that whatever you decide, we understand," her mother said. "If you can't forgive what she did, if you can't move past this, we won't hold it against you. You've been nothing but good to her and to this family." But she prompted, sensing there was more. "But we also want you to know that she's devastated. She ended things with that coworker, told him she was engaged and to never contact her again. She's been in therapy, trying to figure out why she's self-sabotaged like that. She's genuinely trying to understand what she did wrong. That's good for her. Really, I hope she figures it out. Do you think you could ever trust her again?" I thought about it. I don't know. Trust isn't something you can just decide to give back. It's earned over time. And right now, I don't know if I have the energy to wait and see if she'll earn it back. Her father nodded. That's fair. More than fair, actually. We talked for another hour. They didn't pressure me, didn't try to convince me to take her back. They just wanted me to know that they saw what happened, that they didn't condone it, and that whatever I decided, they respected it. When I left that night, her mother hugged me at the door. "You're a good man. Whether you stay with her or not, you deserve someone who sees that and never takes it for granted." Final update. It's been 6 weeks since the dinner where everything fell apart. The engagement is officially off. I asked for the ring back, not because I wanted to sell it or keep it, but because I needed that symbol of her commitment returned before I could fully move on. She gave it to me without argument.
She's still in therapy. She sent me a long email last week, not asking for me back, just apologizing. Really apologizing. Not the kind of apology that comes with excuses. She took full responsibility for her actions, acknowledged that she treated me poorly, and said she understood why I couldn't forgive her. She wished me well. It was the most honest communication we'd had in months. I haven't responded yet. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Right now, I'm focused on rebuilding my life without her in it. I moved my stuff out of her apartment 2 weeks ago. Officially single for the first time in years. It's strange, but not in a bad way. The engagement ring with the engraving is in my dresser drawer. She said no. It's not entirely accurate since I'm the one who ended things, but the sentiment fits. She said no to being fully committed. She said no to prioritizing our relationship over the attention of someone else. She said no to acting engaged in public, which was really just her saying no to being engaged at all. Her family still texts me occasionally. Her sister checks in every few days. Her mother sent me a care package last week with homemade cookies and a note that said she was thinking of me. It's weird maintaining relationships with your ex's family, but they're good people, and I'm not ready to cut them out entirely. As for me, I'm doing okay. Some days are harder than others. Some days I miss what we had, or what I thought we had. Other days I feel relieved that I found out who she really was before we got married, before we had kids, before we bought a house together. Better to end an engagement than file for divorce. My ring is still being resized. That's a lie. It's been sitting in my drawer for weeks. I just can't bring myself to wear it again. To wear any ring. Maybe someday, with someone else. Someone who doesn't need space from being engaged. Someone who's proud to tell the world they chose me. Until then, I'm just here, rebuilding, learning, figuring out what I want from the next relationship, whenever that happens, and making sure I never ignore the red flags again, no matter how much I want to believe everything is fine. The table that night went still because everyone finally saw what I'd been seeing for weeks. The missing ring wasn't just about jewelry. It was about truth. And sometimes the truth needs to be seen before anyone will acknowledge it's there.